Hello everyone, it's Ashwin Rao. In today's video, I'm bringing you yet another pair of footwear from Japan. Rolling Dub Trio has long been considered one of the top accessible manufacturers of heritage style, more rugged, vintage Americana footwear. The Japanese have a long-standing interest in American heritage style and have essentially done a perfected version of many of the styles that have been available through US manufacturers for years. This particular model, which is called the Sloth from Rolling Dub Trio, is not one that I've seen characteristically stateside from some of their local retailers such as Standard and Strange or others. And however, it is somewhat of a distant cousin of this particular model that I received on the used market, which is their Stan model, a side gore Chelsea style boot with their neocork sole, as well as Goodyear welted stitching, and this slightly more sprung toe with this upturned nose. Has a split seam down the side and this leather heel backstay that really define it amongst other Chelseas as being a uniquely Japanese take on American style footwear. I have started digging deeper into brands such as Zeros, Addict, Makers, and others. If you want to learn more, check out the Soul Searching series by stitchdown.com. That's SOLE searching. That really takes a deeper dive into heritage footwear manufacturers heralding from the Tokyo/Asakusa region or Asakusa region of Japan. Once you open the box, this is my first time opening the box here, you get this sticker from the Boots shop. And then we see this nice piece of paperwork essentially detailing the information regarding this sloth. This is the RDT-A02 item. I guess that's their code for the sloth. Built using the natural Chrome Excel leather, 27.5 or US 9.5. I was debating between a 27, which would be a US 9, or a 27.5, which is a US 9.5, because Rolling Dub Trio lasts tend to run a little bit large. 27.5 centimeters is the length of the insole of the shoe. And I have another pair in my stand, as I've shown you before, which is in a US 9, which actually fits me pretty well, although maybe ever so slightly on the snug side. So I went with the 27.5. in this very unique model that is not readily available stateside. So if you go to Rolling Dub Trio's website, you will see that this is a sloth number 0103. The 0103, I believe, refers to this wedge sole. It's essentially a scalloped wedge sole, or a cavity wedge, as some people would call it, made by Rolling Dub Trio. The parent company of Rolling Dub Trio is the Boots factory that also produces Tokyo sandals, a welted sandal arm of the Boots factory along with Rolling Dub. And this is supposed to be a really functional, versatile sole. I actually like the fact that it has this cavity on it. It makes it, to me, a little less wedgy. I'm not a huge fan of wedgies. I hope none of you are, but if you are, so be it and enjoy your wedgie. But this is take on a side gore boot. You can see there's a slight set of differences here. So instead of having the upward stitch that you would see on the Stan model, this similar just vertical seam that you would see here, this one has more of the back heel counter joining and affixing this front leather, all natural Chrome Excel, as you can see. The back heel stay right here, stitching, crossing the back heel stay onto this side paneling. And then the side gore, which should allow for easy ingress and egress of my foot into this pair of shoes. So to me, the purpose of this shoe was to have an easy slip-on, something I could basically pop on or pop off and be able to get out the door quickly if I needed. The shoe has a very similar last to the Stan model. It has that slightly upturned nose right here, and a bit of that toe spring you can see right here. If I take my finger and put it along the edge right there, there's a upturn to that nose. If we bring back the Stan into this model here, if we bring the Stan back into this picture here, you can see very similar pitch to that upturned nose, that toe spring, if you want to call it that, and then this bump, the toe bump. I would hasten to say that these are probably very similar lasts. This one seems like a fairly rounded last on the stand. And if we bring the same model, the Sloth here, you can see very similar. So this is going to be one of my easy throw-on shoes. The natural Chrome XL should have a nice patina develop as well as that nice pull-up. This is lined with a kip leather material, so kip being goat leather. You can see the label from Rolling Dub Trio right here that defines the Sloth and has the 9.5 size marker just below the Sloth here. We see the Rolling Dub Trio label on the back heel pull tab right here. So this is a Goodyear welted boot, and it's really the close cousin from a US standpoint of the Wesco Romeo style. For those of you who are not aware of the Wesco Romeo, it's also a slip-on short Chelsea style or side gore boot, very reminiscent to this. But Wesco, while I like Wesco, some of their lasts are not as forgiving to my particular feet, and the work that's done is not always as clean as it could be. Now this work is quite nicely done, but it's not perfect. If you look at where the stitching joint comes together right here, there's a little bit of irregularity in how the stitches come together right there. Nothing crazy, but just something to mention. This looks like it's got both a welt as well as a midsole, and then a secondary, maybe plastic or synthetic material that allows easy reaffixation of a new wedge cavity sole should you need it down the road. Shouldn't be that hard to do. You don't have to deal with removing stitches or redoing the welt when you're removing that sole. So a nice little touch there. We see contrast stitching along the upper, which is nice and should emphasize and kind of pop up over time as this particular leather will darken over time. And I'm really looking forward to having this as a day-to-day slip-on, easy driver pair that I can just run out the door if I need to quickly put a pair of shoes on and still look quite handsome. At least my feet will look quite handsome. It looks like the back heel actually has a slightly different material right here than the remainder of the cavity wedge. I don't see that up the front. So probably made because this material is probably harder and resists some heel drag, which is kind of a cool thing as well. So just another little touch that I just noticed. And Rolling Dub Trio kicks butt. Hope you're all doing well. I'm really excited about this pair, and I will see you all soon. Take care and goodbye.